Okay, now I'm going to say this rather quickly. We've got a couple more minutes to work on it. 2 times 3 squared squared. What's the first operation to do?
What's inside the parentheses?
A little louder.
Inside the parentheses first.
Okay, well, the first thing we do is 3 squared. Exponent first, and inside the parentheses first, right? So that's 2 times 9 squared. What's the next operation? 2 times 9, we're still inside the parentheses. And everybody knows that's 324. Okay, now, as you know, the squares of all numbers up to 20, right? It's kind of standard thing you're supposed to know. Not many people do. Okay, 4 to the negative second. What does that mean? Again? It means 1 divided by 4 squared. Why? Well, but there's a law that I wrote down here, right? Now, we talked in the MCR class about where that law came from, okay? It comes from these laws that come from common sense, okay? But we're not going to take time to go over those. Something you're supposed to know and something that's good to know, so I'll probably post a video so you can know it if you take the time. And of course, that's 1 over 16. That's since a to the negative b is 1 over a to the b. That's what a negative exponent does. Okay? 78 to the 0 means what?
1.
Well, you got this law. This is for any number a. Anything raised to the 0 power is 1. Everybody has heard that. Everybody has seen that. But unfortunately, our curriculum doesn't do a good job of reinforcing it. So I find that in a pre-calculus class, I get blank looks when I mention this. It's fundamental. So you can't not know that, and you'll see why in a minute. Okay? What's 0 raised to the 0 power? You're going to really want to say 0, aren't you? You are going to want to say 0. I know. Because almost everybody that put anything down for this put down 0. But 0 is a number, and so a could be 0, and 0 to the 0 has to be 1. For reasons that I don't have time to talk about right now, arithmetic wouldn't be consistent if that wasn't the case. Okay? And 5 divided by 10 minus 2 times 5, and if you have trouble reading that, because that 2 looks an awful lot like a z, because I kind of screwed it up. But that's 5 over 10 minus 10, which is 5 divided by 0. What's that? Okay. Why is that undefined? Why can't you divide by 0? Well, okay. Example I use. 6 divided by 2 is 3. Why? Because 2 and 2, 2, I got 2, 4, 6. 3, right? 6 divided by 1/2. 1/2, 1, 1.5, 2, 2.5, 3. Okay? Now let's count to 6 by zeros. 0, 0, 0. I'm not getting anywhere. You can't count to anything by zeros, right? You can't divide by 0. It's a little more complicated than that. There are other ways to talk about the fact that division by 0 has to be undefined. And you can't divide 0 by 0 either. How many zeros does it take to make 0? Well, as many as you want, right? So you have an ambiguous result. Okay? 0 divided by 0 could be 487. Because 487 zeros, 0, 0, 0, 487 gives you 0. Right? Okay? So, has to be undefined. Okay? Whatever the numerator is. If you divide by 0, you don't get a result. Okay, now, this is all relevant to the most basic thing in pre-calculus, which is your basic functions. Your basic functions are y equals x squared, quadratic function. Y equals x is also a basic function. We're not going to talk about it right now, okay? Because it's y equals x cubed. Y equals 1 over x, y equals 1 over x squared, and y equals 2 raised to the x. Okay? And I'm going to ask you to make tables for these functions and graph them. Okay? And I'm going to ask you that by next Tuesday, you be able to just write these functions down, write the tables down, draw the graphs, all 5 of them, in 3 minutes or less. Then you'll have the foundation for understanding functions in this course. Okay? And again, I could give you direct correlations to the grades people made and whether they did this or not successfully. Okay? Total correlation. Okay, so to make the table, now I'm going to actually want to write this out a little bigger because I realize that some people from the back might be having a little trouble seeing what I'm writing. Don't get too close to this, it's really nice, maybe it could kill you. Okay, so our table is always going to look like this. Oh, the other thing is, you do this without a calculator. So if you got a calculator, don't touch it. Because when you're testing over this, you're not going to have a calculator. Okay? So there's the way your table looks every time. Okay? And these are your x values, and these are your y values. Okay? Got it? So let's ask everybody to fill in the table for y equals x squared. Give it a minute to